we call a focal point when you walk through something, like a pass through here. You're gonna see this real pretty window. Then you're gonna see all the hacked up drywall work around it. And how someone tried to like fill this in with mud. Never sanded it, just globbed it on. Someone's gonna come through here, and they're gonna walk into this kitchen, and they're gonna put their hand right here, just kind of standing here, and they're gonna feel how rough it is. Then they're gonna turn and look, and they're gonna go, wow, look at how bad the drywall work is here. Oh my God, you know, is that indicative of everything else? So that's what we call a focal point, where people actually will concentrate just because of the fact that they're walking through. So this corner bead was never cleaned up. It just had mud all edged on it. So we're gonna sand that a little bit now after scraping all the excess mud. Do the same over here, maybe even skim another layer over this, just to give it a little more smoothness. Cleaned out the reveal on the wood of all the mud, and there was some caulking packed in there. Gonna put a little piece of trim down there because they're gonna look down there, and that's the focal point. And then we're gonna concentrate on, when they come in, this is what they see. So we wanna have trim around things. We're gonna wanna clean this cabinet up and give it a nice coat of paint. And you know, just have this general area when they stand in this little doorway looking through here, that it doesn't look all wrecked like it does now. Try to make it look as good as possible. So that's kind of what you do when you're trying to clean up a house for sale. We've got about half the room done here, cleaning all the boogers out of the paint, taking all the screw holes, cleaning those up. Got a big patch right there we got to do. Got another patch right here we got to do. These are places where someone's punched or kicked the wall, and you can just see the general state of the drywall work in here. It looks to me like someone just bedded it in and then never sanded it, never gave it any kind of finish coat. Just, you can still see the tape through it. So we're gonna kind of skim some of that. Another place where you can see the corner bead actually bubbling up through the corner, so we're gonna try to fill all that. You really can't sand this down now that someone hit it with paint, so we're gonna try to just skim over that and smooth it out a bit. And then in the hallway here, we got the trim around the door. We're gonna try to take some of these screws out and sink them in properly, countersink them, and then use like some brown caulk to finish that off. Put another piece of trim right there. That'll have to get stained a little bit. And then we're gonna get some hardware for that door, and then this will be done. The bathroom's not too bad. It just needs to be kind of painted with some bright white paint. And then take some of the runs out here, do a little cleanup on the wall. Places like this just need to be scraped and then re-skimmed over just with a layer of mud. Even though it might stick out a little bit, it won't look like it's caked on with cake frosting. So I still got this wall here to clean up. Gonna try to do something with this. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but this looks like crap. So then we're gonna have to put some trim up at the top because they didn't take the drywall all the way to the ceiling, and it just looks like general shit. They didn't tape the corner here, so I'm gonna probably just run a bead of caulk down that. It'll probably take a couple beads to make it look right. And then this wall here needs to get cleaned up, scraped. Not too many screws in that one. So another tape joint. Someone, yeah, it looks like someone just bedded it in, bedded the mesh tape in, and then just never did anything else. I don't know what that is. Someone cut a square hole in the wall. Weird. So I'm gonna see what I can do around this window, but this room's gonna be kind of where I concentrate all my effort today. All right, the focal point is all cleaned up, looking good. Just needs to get painted. What is going on here? Oh my God. What the heck? Oh no. Oh, we're doing exploratory surgery. You don't want to know what's back in there. Probably some bugs. Ooh. Oh. Oh. See if we can do something with this. Wow. Okay. See you guys in a bit. Southern Squalor. Trailer park technology. Tight at the bottom. Oh, instead of putting a piece of wood behind this, let's just fill it with half of a bucket of mud. We'll make this look nice when we're done here. All right. We're just gonna take some of this wood and we're gonna put it behind this joint. Then we're gonna screw along that and we're gonna tape it and make it look right. This is all backed in by wood. Put a little patch at the bottom. Make it look right. All right, patch is in. Let's get it mudded. I'm gonna embed this with mud before I tape it so that the tape lays flat instead of trying to tape over all that mess. Got some whoopie-doos in the wall to fix still. Gotta get a bigger drywall knife, 10-inch. This one here and those two over there and one there. But everything else is all first coated. I repaired this hump in the wall right here that looked real silly. So now this is all flat, ready to skim out. So once that gets skimmed out, I'll put the trim back around the window. I repaired the window where the sash was damaged. That's all fixed. Nice big patch down there where somebody kicked a hole in the wall. A couple of spots where I just had to patch without putting an actual patch in. Some crappy corner bead work there I just filled in. That's the first coat. Second and third coat will make it look perfect. So I'll get this skimmed out once I get either a 10 or a 12-inch knife. Probably gonna get some better mud too. My mud's a little old, so it's kind of hard to skim. So yeah, everything's looking good. I'm gonna get a trim around this window tomorrow. Gonna have to just figure out what we're gonna do. Maybe put some shelves in there, put a piece of trim around it, just make it look nice with a backboard. Maybe a piece of drywall in the back, or maybe a piece of plywood. Just paint it white. But yeah, you can see what punching out a house and getting it ready for paint, what kind of mess it makes. Another big spot down there. Someone probably kicked a hole in the wall. Seems like there's a lot of spots where the wall was kicked. There's actually shoe prints in that one. There was actually like a shoe print in it from the bottom of a shoe. So that was definitely a kick mark. You know, when that gets painted, it'll look all nice and neat and tidy. Cleaned up the edge here. Just got to sand it once that dries. Got a few spots in the baseboards to screw down. And I'm gonna wait till I skim out all that and everything before I do that. So basically, caulked all the corners because they never taped the corners, so the corners weren't caulked. I'm gonna run some trim along the top here. I gotta get a little bit of trim and I gotta get a wider piece to go all the way to the ceiling right here over the door. No big deal, I have that, I just gotta cut it down. So, oh yeah, it gets messy. This room over here, I went through and doubled up any of the spots that needed a little extra to fill the gaps in. And basically all I gotta do in here now is come in with some sandpaper and sand all these spots down so that they're nice and smooth. And this will be ready to paint. And the baseboards are all set. I re-screwed them in a few places. Got one more coat to put on the box there. Another kick point. Got this little patch doubled up, so now they just need one more, kind of like a whole coat over the whole thing so it's nice and smooth. Yeah, it's a little touch up in the hallway here, but not too bad. So that's where it's at. Really good amount of work done for 2 days. And then I'm gonna try to get some of this old mud that I got. It's kind of stiff, so I'm gonna see if I can roll that up there with a thick roller and make like a texture. Kind of tie that in a little better. Other than that though, I think we're coming along good. This will be ready for paint in a few days. Then it's on to the kitchen. See you.